2 caution flags in the race so far. Ward Burton spun down the front stretch at lap 5. He's back in the garage area getting repairs, and debris on the racetrack from Ward Burton's car after his first set of repairs. Brought out the caution at lap 18. 7 lead changes so far. Ryan Newman led the first 56 laps. Dale Earnhardt Jr. went out in front, and then a series of green flag pit stops shuffled things around until Tony Stewart took command at lap 84.
As our pole sitter Ryan Newman, as he tries to go by the 23 car of Hut Strickland, and he's been behind him for several laps. Cannot get by, and Joe Nemechek has driven up on the back of Ryan Newman.
Here are our lows, improvers, and snoozers through the first part of the race. Look at the advance for Kurt Busch. 30 spots.
Meanwhile,
guys who are struggling.
The Bodine boys, Brett and Todd and Ward Burton in the garage area. Ryan Newman he's gotten behind the 23 car. He picked up that aero push and just cannot get by. Has been following him for several laps.
But Joe seems to get a pretty good run on him. He just seems like he runs out of steam from the middle of the racetrack down into the corner. It looks like that Ryan's got a little bit more motor. But see right here, Joe's car's working real good. Gets up underneath him. Then it's a drag race down the straightaway. Problem is Ryan, well, this time he's going to give it to Joe.
He lifted off the gas.
Yep.
Here he let him go.
Just give it to him.
Many are talking about aero push.
And the dreaded words that we hate to talk about in this business. But the cars have become very, very aerodynamic on the nose of the car, and you depend on air to push the car down for downforce to make the car grip the racetrack. When you pull up behind someone and you can't get all that air on the nose, then the car just does not want to turn. And the term that they use is an aerodynamic push, or aero push.
I mentioned Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ryan Newman kind of were the 2 tag teaming up the front of the pack for most of the early laps. Jr. led the race from lap 57 to 64. Now he's kind of mired back in 3rd. He's 4 seconds behind the leader, Tony Stewart. Here's what he had to say to his crew about his car's performance just a moment ago.
This light rolled over on the right front loose when I started. That's also getting the left front up on the corner of the tire. How it rolls over and kind of the left front ain't really trying to work. If it was kind of flatter going out in the corner and the center, it might work the left front better, curve better in the center, not be so loose in.
Huh? No, it sounds like, is that damage there on the left front?
I think it's just the way they're making those fenders. I saw that a fender coming down pit road a moment ago, and I thought it was damaged, but I really think that's now the way that they're making these fenders to get downforce on that left front.
Little optical illusion there. Camera angle.
What he's explaining is the car seems like, if I heard him right, BP, the car seems like it's rolling a little bit, and when it rolls over on the right side, it makes the left front tire light, so to speak. It's not getting into the racetrack, getting traction. How about it, Marty?
And guys, remember, that's the same thing he said in half hour yesterday. He was having that same problem with just rolling too much for him. It's not necessarily coil binding, which is when the springs kind of coil up together, but it just kind of rolls too much for him. And he was having that same problem, especially in 3 and 4. And remember, that big bump is over in 3 and 4, and that's what was giving the 8 car problems yesterday.
Now, if that's doing that right now when he's by himself, it's got to get a lot worse when he gets around other cars. So if he gets in traffic, he could have his hands full.
Talked about Dale Jr. kind of struggling over the last couple of months. He has only led 15 laps in all the races in the last 2 months. Expect more out of that, more than that out of Jr. He expects more than that out of himself. Right now he's behind Tony Stewart, who is leading the Tropicana 400. Lap 113 of 267 are complete. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Welcome back to the Chicagoland Speedway. Tony Stewart, the race leader, is on pit road here in the Tropicana 400. He is a little bit tight. They made a very slight wedge adjustment to loosen him up. He is very happy with the car. Bill Evans.
Rusty Wallace is also on pit road.
was battling to stay on the lead lap, lost an ignition earlier in the race, went to the backup ignition, wanted to pit the same time as Stewart so he can stay in sequence with him. Major chassis adjustment because Rusty's car has been tight since they dropped the green flag. 4 tires and fuel. Rusty's hoping this strategy can get him back into contention.
I don't think anybody can stay in contention with Tony Stewart as long as that crew keeps pulling off those 13.7-second pit stops. Man, Zippy, you and your guys are on the job today. The car is great, and that pit stop was utterly fantastic.
That was a great pit stop. And boy, track position right now, especially under these green flag pit stops, is really, really important. Every second or two that you can gain in the pit is a long way on this racetrack.
There's Dale Jarrett taking Miss Piggy for a ride today here in Chicagoland.
He doesn't look like a pig. Running pretty good.
I didn't say it looked like a pig. I said he was taking Miss Piggy for a ride.
Okay. At least she's not taking for a barbecue.
No, this is true.
And Joe Nemechek was running so great, he's coasting between 3 and 4. Now, is he out of fuel? What is the problem with Nemechek? Man, oh man.
Boy, Joe was running good. His car was fast. I've been watching his time. He was a tenth or two even faster than everybody on that run, but this is going to cost him a little bit.
It's been 60 laps since he was on pit road last, Bill.
Well, the action continues out there on the racetrack, especially with the 88 car chasing the race leader here. Dale Jarrett, now the race leader after Tony Stewart had pitted last week, involved in that multi-car crash in the Pepsi 400 at Daytona, and walked all the way back to his pits. We asked him what that was all about.
Miscommunication on their part, and you know, they came to me and explained what had happened and why it won't happen again. You know, and so I'm satisfied with that. You know, it was an unfortunate situation. The good thing was I wasn't hurt, and you know, nothing came from it other than we're going to have better communication now.
And as we've heard throughout this weekend, and Alan, I know you talked to some of the NASCAR officials, that it was a miscommunication, that some of the rescue vehicles didn't go to the assigned spot. Matt?
The one car of Steve Park is already in for service. Left side tires going on. Park complaining his car was extremely tight in the center of the corner. They adjusted with track bar and air pressure.
Yes, Steve Park had some trouble getting onto pit road. This is the 3rd time today we've seen this.
And there we see the yellow car Park slowing down to get on pit road. And there's so much debris there that he gets loose as he hits the apron of the racetrack. And around he goes, almost backs up to the racetrack, but finally stops it. Goes on to pit road, makes a stop, and away he goes. But costs a lot of time to do that.
Won't get caught for speeding, though, will he?
No, that's right.
These guys keep this up, they're not going to have to mow that grass for a little while. Marty?
Jeff Gordon is in. He was running in 7th for most of that run. He was tight off the corner. He told Robbie Loomis, I need some help. Robbie Loomis said, we're going to get you some help. He said, good, because I really need a lot. They made a wedge adjustment and 2 separate air pressure adjustments for the Winston Cup champ as he goes off pit road.
Let's meet the guys who go over the wall for the 2014.
I'm Steve Letard. I'm the rear tire carrier, and I'm from Cornish, Maine.
Jeff Cravey, gas man, High Point, North Carolina.
Caleb Hurd, catch can, Pulaski, Virginia.
Name's Craig Curione, front tire carrier from Sanborn, New York.
Todd Gant, front tire changer, Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Jeff Cook, I'm the jack man from Charlotte, North Carolina.
My name's Shane Church. I change rear tires, and I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
About that, that's pretty neat.
The guys who get it done. Here comes your leader, Dale Jarrett. Now his guys get their chance to shine as Jarrett pits from the lead at lap 125. Marty?
Car, Allen, has been very, very good for Dale Jarrett as he creeps slowly down pit road. 4,600 in first gear is the pit road speed for Dale Jarrett. That's 45 miles an hour to you and I. They will make it once again. No changes. Actually, now they're going to make a wedge adjustment on the right side, left side of the car. He has had 3 top 5s in his last 5 races. The car got a little bit bad on him there at the very end of that run. In front of him pitting is Sterling Marlin. As you see Jarrett go off pit road, Sterling says he has no front grip. They have had this problem all day long. They once again will try to fix that with air pressure. He has had 2 top 10s in his last 4 races. Problem is, those have been his only top 10s in the last 7 races.
problem with the jack here. That cost him about at least 2 seconds.
Yeah, we see 17.4. I would say you're right, Wally. At least 2 seconds.
Marlin heads back out on track. Robbie Gordon is on pit road. Todd Bodine's car is being pushed down pit road. Apparently it is stalled and won't refire.
Sterling's got something hanging off the right side of the car, it looks like.
Well, I think Todd Bodine ran out of fuel in the Discover car and coasted into the pits and just now able to get it refired.
And it's tough to get one of those cars fired up, too. Pushing that thing, it's 3,400 pounds. Kurt Busch is on pit road. One of the top 10. Ricky Craven is also coming in. Marty?
And what a great run Kurt Busch has had. The last time they came in, they made a very slight air pressure adjustment. This time the same thing, the car very good, just slightly tight for Kurt Busch, and he's gone all the way from the back of the field into the top 10 today.
Long stop, troubles with the right front there.
These guys are struggling today, BP.
Yeah, they are struggling in the pits. Ricky Craven's in the pits as we've seen that Kurt Busch leading. Marty?
And actually, Ricky Craven, Benny, had same lap times on that run, almost from the beginning to the end, as Tony Stewart did. They make no adjustments on the tide forward, and a long stop, problems on the left rear. Ryan Newman also in front of him. They will make a wedge adjustment. He has had a problem with the car being tight all day long. They also will make an air pressure adjustment for Ryan Newman, the man who started on the pole, but got caught back in lap traffic.
Jimmy Johnson's been on pit road, Dave.
And he comes off pit road with 4 fresh tires, Alan. He was a little bit tight off the corners, but he was really fast. So he just wanted a slight adjustment. He'd worked his way all the way up to 12th after starting deep in the pack.
Bobby Labonte following Johnson off of the pit lane. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the leader. As we watch Sterling Marlin.
And we saw earlier, we're trying to get a look on the other side here. There was something hanging out the side when he left the car. See that? Right? Is that damn? What is that down there? Really hard to see.
You wrinkle up that little side skirt that they had to run around the tailpipes?
Could be. Could be.
All right, we'll get a report. One of our guys will check in his pit, see what the damage might be. Meantime, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is getting ready to come onto pit road, the race leader. He is on pit road.
And Marty Snyder's there. Marty!
Well, guys, I cannot describe to you how badly this team needs a very good pit stop and a very good race today. They've had only one top 10 in the last 8 races, and that was last week. The car started very loose. It has gotten a little bit tight on Junior. They will make a wedge adjustment on the car, and they will make a 4-tire stop. Overall, he's very happy. File this away for later on. He got a very good fuel mileage read last time, and they stayed out longer than anyone else. Another good stop for the Bud team.
All right, we were talking about Sterling Marlin, and was there any damage to the right side of his car?
Oh, right there. Look at that. I mean, I don't know what that is hanging there, but it may be part of that.
I think that's part of that skirt.
And it doesn't look like a big deal, but believe me, that is a big deal because that really affects aerodynamics.
Dave?
Matt Kenseth is in. He wanted a half-pound of air pressure all around all 4 tires. He also wanted a wedge adjustment. They made that 1/2 round in the right rear. He is gone.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. ran 15 more laps on fuel than Tony Stewart did. That could decide which one of them has a shot at winning this race.
Well, the first time I think he ran about 64 laps. This time he ran, I think, 67 laps. So he might be able to make it on just one more stop.
His teammate Michael Waltrip getting good fuel mileage too, Matt.
Alan, he certainly is. Slugger Labby, as Crucci told me, fuel mileage, fuel mileage, fuel mileage. We're going to try to roll the fuel mileage again. Trouble getting the left rear tire off. They finally get the lugs on. Michael is down and away. No adjustments on the 15 car.
Finishing up a round of green flag.